Let's talk supply chain. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Supply Chain. So let's begin with a question. The global economy is entering an uncertain chapter. According to the Economist Intelligence Unit, real global GDP growth is expected to fall in 2025. But to what? What do you think? Let me know your guesses over on social and keep listening because all will be revealed at the end of the show. So today I'm excited to welcome an industry rising star to our Woman in Supply Chain series. She's passionate about transforming challenges into opportunities, but who is she? She's Zera Zheng. Zera has a rich background in auditing logistics service suppliers and a deep understanding of quality and HSSE requirements across diverse industries, which has really enabled her to develop strategies that protect organizations from risks, preserve reputations, and prevent financial losses. So today, Zara will be and I will be talking about her career journey, stepping up as a thought leader, taking a holistic approach to resilience, and what she's learned from a big move from China to Europe. But of course, we could not do this show without our sponsor. The Woman in Supply Chain Forum was created by Marina and Jason to foster real connections, bringing men and women together to network, learn, and build lasting bonds beyond traditional conferences. It's about strengthening pipelines, creating a community of advocates, mentors, and trusted peers. Similarly, the Woman in Supply Chain Award was born from a need to recognize female leaders navigating challenges and driving change. Since its inception 5 years ago, it has grown to nearly 400 submissions, celebrating the achievements of women shaping the future of supply chain. Find out more at sdcexec.com. So welcome to the show, Zara.
Thank you very much. Very happy to be here.
I am so excited to have you on the show. You're an award winner, a leader at Maersk, and I know you've been involved in some fascinating and really successful projects. So I can't wait to find out more about you. I'm sure the audience can't wait to find out more about you and what drives you. So let's go back a little bit. You went straight from university to a role at Kuehne Nagel. How did that opportunity come about? And did you know anything about logistics when you began?
Well, this is already a couple of years ago. Actually, actually, after I graduated from the university, by the way, so my major was on the macroeconomics and also minoring accounting. So although we have some courses on the logistic and import exporter, but there's always a gap between the books and also the practice. So I was very lucky that during that time, Kuehne Nagel also had the roles like a management training program. That's a 2 years rotation programs allow you to rotate in the different departments and also to learn that what's the process behind that. So this is actually give me a very good opportunity to see that how logistic companies serve the actual cargo owners across the different unions. So that's also allows me to pick up the initial knowledge about the industries and also the process about ocean, air freight, all these contract logistics things.
Yeah,
That's
you
how
and
I
I
started journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you and I have a similar journey because I spent like 20 years of my career in logistics and I started off as reception of a logistics company. And it was a really good way to really understand the different departments because somebody would call in with a problem and I'd be listening to them and I'd have to figure out who would be the right person to help solve that. Because back in the day when the phones were used so much, people didn't want to be moved from person to person to person. You kind of had to get it right on the first go. There was so much pressure, so much
Yeah.
pressure. But it was a great way to learn what everybody did and, how they would solve a problem and who would be the problem solvers within the business, right? I mean, logistics professionals, supply chain professionals are inherent problem solvers. But there's
Mm.
some that like to be more customer facing solving problems than others, right?
Yes. Exactly. And to be honest, I think a receptionist is also a fantastic starting for the journey because, like you said, usually you will be the person and knows and who in the organizations, and also to have the ideas that what a kind of services or why customers are calling for, right? So you have a very good sense and also opportunity to learn. That's what's the pain point from the customer why they are calling us, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
well,
very
and
good
you
opportunity.
you went from department to department and learned about different avenues of the logistics company. I did the same thing. I went to trucking, to sales, to ocean, to warehousing, to air freight. I
Yeah.
think the only thing I didn't do was exports.
Mm.
Everything I did was import.
Yeah, I think that's because of the location you base, right? And that's usually no matter Canada or US, and that's always an well known and import part. And luckily for where I started in Shanghai, China, actually at the beginning, so also exports is a biggest portion, and
Oh.
especially recent years, and now imports also has been picked up very fast. So we also get the opportunity to see the both directions of the cargo movement. So I think that luckily I also have this very exclusive opportunity to see that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that. And I always tell people to try different things because I think it's really important to find out what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you like to do, and what you don't like to do. I think
Mm,
that's really important to a career journey because how do you know where you should pivot and go
mm.
if you don't know what you like, what you don't like, and so on. And you really got a chance to do that at KN, which is what we've been talking about. What did you find out about yourself during that time? Like, what advice would you give to somebody in a similar position to really make the most of that type of opportunity, maybe discovery about themselves, even if it
Mm.
sometimes feels uncomfortable? Because that can get uncomfortable too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, especially for the graduates, I would recommend it not to, jump into the definitions or decisions on what kind of a job you want or you fit to. So I would encourage them to look around and see what could keep you interested and also passionate to work with. I think that's most important. A lot of I also feel that the success started with the interest. So if you don't have the passion, you don't have the interest in certain industries in the work you're doing, then it's very rare that you can be succeed in the things you're working on. So interest, passion, that will be the good starting point. And then after that, also make sure that you always have the challengers. The good things, I also feel no matter Kuehne Nagels or now Maersk, is a well trained me or the opportunity gives to me is they always keep me feel that I receive the new challenges every day. So this is also very good. You can say the learning journey for me to pick up, the new knowledges and new experience, and then you can expand your comfort zone. This is most important for the people. Once you expanded your comfort zones, and also you have a more capability to deal with the different situations and different cases, then you also get more opportunities and to support others in the logistics side. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, I love all of that. One thing that I would add to it though is curiosity and asking
Yes.
questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I
Definitely.
really think that that is going to be your best friend because when you go
Mm.
into something and you think you want to do this, and then it doesn't turn out to be what exactly you thought it was, and you have
Yeah.
to pivot, sometimes, it really affects how we think about ourselves and how we think about our value. But if we go in with more curiosity and be like, this is my starting point, but I might pivot to other things, and that's okay, it really helps us mentally to prepare for, looking at other ways that our career could go and our career could pivot and really opens our minds to what opportunities really are in front of us.
Yeah, exactly. Fully on that. And curiosity definitely important to keep you started to also invest your time and energies to learn the new things. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, and you ended up focusing on health, safety, security, and environment, which I love. What was it that really interested you about this particular area? I mean, it's not something that we always talk about
Yeah.
within supply chain, right? So how did you get
Mm.
interested in that?
Well, to be honest, at the beginning, and it's not my choice, isn't to jump onto that because also you can imagine as a graduate and you don't really know that what exactly each department is doing and
Right.
working on. So you just be open to see that what's the opportunity available there. And luckily that I got the opportunity in that field and which I'm really passionate about. Actually, it's not just about the health and safety, security, and but also later, especially in my later career development, actually I also pick on these crisis management, the business
Hmm.
continuity. That's all connected to the trading topics now, the risk and the resilience, right?
Wow.
So. Yeah, especially nowadays when we see there's every day there are so many disruptions happening affecting the supply chain. I do feel that the knowledge, the experience, the things I did in the past, then now it's in kind of help me to shape who I am now. So at the beginnings, and I get the chances to learn from the practice and learn from the interactions with the customers, dealing with the customers' audits or inquiries, or even have to engage in some investigation of some incidents or these stuff, then all these experience and the knowledge actually now in return to help me to have a better understanding about what's going on with the risk and why customers are so painful with that disruptions. What's the pain points to them? So I do see that in, this journey, this experience really helps.
Awesome. Well, and you were with Kuehne and Nagel for nearly 7 years, and then you have moved to Maersk.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the types of projects you've worked on there. What does health, safety, security, and environment look like at an organization of that size?
Well, actually, Maersk is a global company, well known, right? So also they have the business and moving the cargoes, especially for ocean. We have our own fleet, and also we have the logistic part. And something that the people seldom, probably not so well known, is that the air freight. Maersk not just have the ocean part, but also air freight part. So
Right.
which also means that in general, Maersk can provide integrate the logistic solution. So actually for my roles now I'm working on this risk and the resilience to help the customers and to not just seeing the disruptions but also help them to anticipate and also prepare for the possible disruptions, right? So actually for some of the projects I'm running with the customers, supporting customers is an like some strategic risk, like there's some strike, if you remember, and I think it was in 2024, there's U.S. East Coast strike, right? That also can affect the supply chain. So I support the customers in also not just knowing that wasn't likely to happen, but also help them to prepare for the possible alternative solutions and to ensure that the cargo flow and also how they can change, for example, so from the strategy wise, from the supply chain operations wise to mitigate the impact. So this is a kind of project I do for them. And also on the other side, I'm also oversee the risk and the resilience and solution development at Maersk. So which allows me to actually together with the team to develop the cool digital tools that help customers to see that what's going to hit them or what's already hit them, that I mean the visibility of a disruption, but also have the chances to get an idea how many shipments exposed to that, and so they can get the real time exposure even. And the most important is how they can do about it, what are kind of actions that they can take to mitigate the risks. So these are kind of tools that we develop and offer to customers. So actually, from that part, I really see that the customers, benefit from it, and also this is really make myself and also the team excited about.
Hmm. Well, and risk is such a It's such a cool thing. I mean, it's really come to light over the last couple of years. I talk about spending our risk dollars because I think a lot of times we get too caught up in what is 100% the right decision. And I don't think that
Mm,
that's the case every single time. I think it's going to look
mm,
different. And I also think it's going to look different to how we want to spend our risk dollars. I mean, we can make a decision that's going to move us in this direction, and we're going to make a decision that moves us in this direction. And this one takes 20 risk dollars, and this one takes 10. But which one really is the right one for us? And again, it's not necessarily about the right decision. It's about committing to one direction or another, understanding the risks that you're taking moving in one direction or another, and what success looks like on the other side. And knowing that sometimes that risk is going to work and sometimes
yeah.
it's just not, right?
Yeah, yeah, Sarah, you're spot on. Exactly like you described. And when the disruptions happen or the risk happens, the most difficult decision you can imagine for the supply chain leaders is what's going to happen? And when I make this decision, what's the opportunities and
Right.
for the others, right? So there's no crystal balls to tell us tomorrow what's going to happen. So this is the uncertainty itself is actually the biggest challenges to supply chain leaders.
Yeah.
So what we try to do here, and also I see there's a lot of resilience, and my peers in the industries also try to drive is we are not saying, oh, we don't want to be the witches, to provide the crystal ball here, but
Right.
at least we try to help the supply chain leaders to understand what is likely to happen, what are the scenarios, and also for the different scenarios, and what kind of actions that you can take, you can consider for that. Then
Right.
this is allow the business and also the supply chain leaders to have a better information and to prepare for the potential impact. So
Yeah.
this is a kind of a work we're doing.
That's so exciting. I love that. Well, and then you made an even bigger decision and a more exciting decision, I think, to move to Holland. It's one of my favorite places. I love the Netherlands. How did that opportunity come about? And what went through your mind when you were thinking about moving from China to Europe?
Yeah.
What was that experience? Now, I talk to a lot of young supply chain professionals all the
Mm.
time. And one of the things that they don't quite realize is the opportunities, A, to travel, but B, to also live in other countries and live in other parts of the world. And so I'm excited to hear this story from you because I think we all need to hear it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. To be honest, and myself, I wasn't born in a very traditional Chinese family. So actually, when the opportunities came, my family was really hesitated to allow me to let me, move to a place where 9,000 kilometers away from my hometown.
Right.
So there's a lot of hesitations around that. And I was very lucky that I have a very good leader during that period. That's Saskia Groentewold. She's also a great leader and always supported the women's success.
Hmm.
So she knows that what kind of challenges I need to deal with, I need to manage in my family. She gave me the time and also the space to convince my family, and also she actually gave me the opportunity to move to Netherlands to stay there for months to experience what the life are going to be, and then let me to before I make the decisions whether I want to go or not. So this is
Wow.
a very rare opportunity. Yes, that's also a wow to me as well when I heard her proposal during that time. And beyond that, actually, the roles I moved to Netherlands or motivated me to move to the Netherlands is a kind of a global roles in charge of security and business resilience. And we are talking about the logistic industry. And we often heard that logistic industry is a man's word, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And also, especially for a security roles, you will always see a person's kind of, with a profile like a man actually coming with the background from the military or from the police,
Right.
then to take charge of a security. So it's very rare to offer this to Asian women.
Hmm.
So also I do really appreciate, the trust and also the support from my leader, Saskia, and also the company, Maersk, during that time. So give me this opportunity to really, allow me to experience and also to challenge myself and to out of my comfort zone. And by now, it's already 6 years. I'm very happy to share that, and at least my family and myself, we are not regretful for that decision. So
Yay.
I'm very happy to be here in Netherlands and also really enjoy, different cultures and also, the different networks of these things around me. And to the young people, I would encourage you just to keep it challenging yourself and don't let the opportunity go. And we should always challenge or give ourselves a bit of challenges out of the comfort zone.
Hmm.
That will be very good, not just for your career development, but also you as a person. That will always be good for your
Yeah,
growth.
I love that. Did you feel pressure to say yes?
Oh, a lot, to be honest. You can imagine, I'm coming from the Chinese, traditional Chinese family. All my
Yeah.
education background I actually received in China. So when I moved to Netherlands, although before that decision, I also have other offers, and before that to Singapore, to other places. But I always say no, because that's in the family actually, like what I said, it's not really open or
Right.
quite hesitated for me to move there, right? But then for the Netherlands one, no matter the opportunity itself, but also for the support that I have from the leaders and from the company, it's tremendous. It actually make me feel that I should not let it go. I should make I
Right.
should go there. And I actually, when I moved to the Netherlands, no matter the language, the cultures, the way working with an employees, because then you will have a more international working environment.
Yeah.
It's all the things. It's completely different. And then also for myself, I have to deal with things alone because and also my husband actually he's also hesitated a bit at the beginning, so he would love that I move there first to experience whether I able to survive and
Right.
able to settle down first. Then he will decide whether he will move together with me. So you can imagine at the beginning, it's basically alone. Then
Yeah,
you
you're
have to tackle
alone.
tackle different the problems. Again, I was very happy that I have a very good leaders and also the company
Yeah.
here, so that who give me a lot of support.
Did you second guess yourself? Were you sort of like, can I do this? Like, is this something that I can do not only personally, right? Because you had a lot of challenges that you needed to get over,
Mm,
but also, moving into a role in a not in the new company, but like in a new country
mm,
with new people that then you're gonna have to, did you feel like you had to prove yourself? Did you feel like you deserved? Like, how
mm.
did you feel about that? Because there had to have been a whole bunch of stuff going through your head because, there's pressure to make it work. There's
Yeah.
pressure to say yes, but then there's also that little voice sometimes in our head that,
Mm,
why is this happening to me? Like, what am I gonna have to prove when I
yeah.
get there? You know?
Yeah, exactly. And the beginnings, and like what I mentioned, actually, I feel the tremendous pressure. Not
Yeah.
just the pressures from the different environment and, the work environment or these language or cultures or life issue, but also from the internal side, right? So you can obviously see that no matter the leaders or the company give you such a big opportunities and also
Yeah.
the support to let you be there, but you want to prove yourself and prove your value to the company and also the trust that you gain from these leaders and from these people, right? So at the beginnings, actually, I struggled a lot. But luckily, as what I mentioned, I was very lucky to have, for example, Saskia, and also I have some mentors in the company who guide me and also support me during the journey.
So
So
important.
they actually give me a lot of advice when I have the difficult situation how to manage a more international team. Or usually the team is actually involved a lot of quite a few senior peoples. Then how you manage this team and to make it perform. And also when the teams have the conflict, also could be the conflict, about the project, about the directions you want to drive, then how exactly to make them work and
Yeah.
make them believe that the story will work.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so that's an also I get a lot of help and from internal and also external side. So
Yeah.
really appreciate. Yeah.
Well, and I want to acknowledge and appreciate you for sharing that with us today because I know that that's not easy, but these are some of the questions and some of the deep-rooted things that we need to talk about when we talk about some of our life choices and our career journeys and where it's led us to today because there are those moments that we need to focus on so that the rest of the women who are making strides and making decisions within their careers know that they're not alone. And one
Mm,
of the other things that you said was that they gave you the opportunity to test it out. And I want
mm,
to point out here for people listening that you can ask these questions. I mean, if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, we've got an opportunity in this Netherlands office. We'd love for you to move there and, take on the team or whatever that looks like." One of the questions you can ask is, can you give me some space, some time and space to go and test it out first? Right?
yeah,
And
very
they
good point.
all the
Yeah.
the only thing that they can do is say yes or no. And at that point, then you can make a decision as to what you want to do moving forward. But when you ask the right questions, and so I think it was important for us to hear that part of your journey too, and what they offered you and how you made that transition. Because when you ask the right questions, you open up to more choices for yourself. And so I just wanted to point that out because I think that's a really important point is that sometimes we get scared to ask the questions, but really the questions just lead into more opportunity to have choices.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, you were named a rising star at the Women in Supply Chain Forum Award. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's had the biggest impact on your star rising? Like, what does the win mean to you?
Well, actually, the word, and not just to recognize me as an individuals and all the efforts or the hard work, but also recognizing the people I work with and the teams I work with. I really appreciated that to give me that award. To me, it's a kind of proof about the decisions like what we just discussed, right? That you make the right decisions and to challenge yourself and to make a bold move to get some opportunities. And then also the word actually also kind of a proof to myself that yes, you can do it. I think
Hmm.
this is also important for probably many audience here, and when they hesitated to make a big, bold move or make a bigger decisions, then I would encourage them that just to think about it. If you hesitated, then that also means that could be the opportunity worth you to give it a try.
Right. Yeah. Well, and representation really matters. Representation across the board, seeing award winners, seeing representation on stages, seeing representation attending conferences, because it really gives that confidence to say, that is what I can do. If that's what I want to do, I can make that happen for myself as well. And you speak regularly at forums and panels. What has your experience been? I talk a lot about inclusion and seeing representation on industry stages.
Mm,
Um, and I think what we need to do is create not only the opportunities on stage, but we also need to create the wanting of that opportunity within ourselves to say,
mm.
hey, I can be that person up on stage as well. So, what do you think about what has your experience been speaking on stage? Do you still get nervous? Were you nervous when you started? Like, how did you get over that? And how do you think we can see more representation?
Well, that's also a very good question. Actually, at this moment, I still every time when I, onto some programs or public speech, I will still remember that during my childhood, I made a mistake standing on the big stage, but I was so nervous and barely says nothing. And then after, because I can't say any words on that stage, so after I leave it, because then the teachers asked me to, step down, and then I started crying. And actually, this is the childhood I had, and these always, kind of remind me who I was, or to who I'm now. So I think to encourage the audience here, you probably and people. I mean, everyone will make the mistake. Mistake is not scary at all, and you can mess up with some speech or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that in future you will make the same mistake again. It won't stop you to become the people you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, the experience or the lessons learned is when you have the opportunity, just to grab it. If there's a chances to let you talk to the peoples and also to make a decent speech, whatever, then just aggressive. And then if you're not so sure or not so confident about the speech, then just practice and make it, to make some muscle memories. Then anyway, you will speak it naturally. So everything is more about the practicing. After you practicing and many times, then anyway, you can be the expert. So again, actually, also for me, even when you talk on the different program, it really depends on who's the audience or what's the occasions. Actually, also will give you different experience. For example, if I'm speaking in the programs, online programs, or I'm speaking in the UN event, then actually the experience is completely different.
Right.
And also, when you talk to, for example, in the big fair that you really need to do the TED talk, or when you speak like, to do the sales pitch, then it's also very different. So from my side, is you just throw yourself into different opportunities and then experience and practice. Of course, before you go to that event, you need to practice and prepare yourself. But do your best, and then I feel that you will get a return. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
Yeah, and like you said, practice, right? So say yes, get up there, do your best, and then you'll do even
Yeah.
better the second time. But I'm smiling because you and I have
Mm.
such similar journeys. It's a little shocking. So
Yeah.
when I was, and I actually talk about this in my new book, when I was in grade 5, I was in speech competitions. And I got up in front of the class to practice it one day because the competition was the next day. And they all threw paper balls at me and booed. And that ruined me for about 20 years. And I didn't know how I would get over my fear of public speaking because that, like the hands were sweaty, couldn't remember
Yeah.
what I had to say, heart
Yeah.
pounding, panic attacks. And it just takes that one moment, I think.
Mm.
But what really draws us together in our similarities is the fact that we took those instances and we drew from them
Yeah.
to say that's not going to be my downfall. I'm going to take
Mm.
that and I'm going to use it as fuel to figure out how to get over this.
Exactly. Exactly. You got a very well summary of the experience. I echo that. Yeah.
I love that. Now, you have talked a lot about having Saskia and a lot of the senior management sort of
Mm.
behind you,
Mm.
especially at Maersk. Can you talk about mentors or sponsors that you've had outside of maybe Maersk and maybe along that career journey? How have they inspired you? How have they helped you? How have you found them?
Mm. That's also a very interesting question. And actually, in general, I really appreciate it for everyone I met in my life. So they always either inspire me or actually to make me see through that who I am. There are a few names actually I think of, and I really feel appreciated. Like you mentioned, Saskia. Actually, she's definitely the ones I really appreciated because she encouraged me to take the leap to the Netherlands and also completely change my life. Right. And then also there's another people that Caroline Wu. She's the our global head of still the Maersk Services Centers, who actually mentored me since my time in China, and also now after I moved to the Netherlands. So she keep and also help me, give me the advice, and no matter on not just on my career development, but also on my life and how I tackle the challenges here in the Netherlands. And apart from that, actually, I also want to mention that, for example, like Rico Volokan, who actually my former manager, but now he has left Maersk. But he also the persons encouraged me to pursue the Rising Star Award and continuously supports me in my career
Nice.
development even today. So he's also now also the CEO of another companies and in Netherlands. So I really appreciate that I met them in my life. And apart from that, and beyond the formal these mentorship or these things, actually I also learn from people who offered the honest feedback and trust me with the opportunities beyond my comfort zone. That's including the colleagues I work with, including my customers, also including my peers that I met in different events of this stuff.
Mm.
Inspiration-wise, also I deeply admire one person that Kathleen Carrico. She's the scientist behind mRNA
Uh-huh.
vaccine
Yep.
breakthrough for that pandemic period. Actually, she also the author of the book Breakthrough. Her story of perseverance actually is a really because of her background. She turning years of rejections into the world-changing success. And this
Wow.
really encouraged me and reminds me the progress and takes some patience and also the faith both in your ideas and in yourself.
I love
So this
that.
is also a book I recommended the audience could check.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's really stories, right? It's the stories that representation matters. And then it's the stories and hearing about the stories and the career journeys that really inspire and show us what actually is possible, with our lives and what we can do. So, last question. I have really enjoyed this and I really don't want it to wind down, but what does the future hold for you, Zara?
Uh, as what I mentioned at the beginnings, I don't want to determine or define what is the future I will have. But what I want to say is, and I will continuously be open for what's the opportunity coming to me. Of course, I want to continue focusing on the risk resilience, and these, and to me, is also a topic I'm passionate about, and also would like to see how the new technology like AI, machine learning things will change the world, and especially change the supply chain in the following. So I would expect myself or anticipate myself to continue focusing on these areas and also continues to developing the new tools, new solutions that help our supply chain leaders and help our industries to gain more resilience and also better positions to prepare for the future disruptions. And we all know now disruptions becomes the new normal. So I think also important for all of us to be prepared for that and also be open to the opportunity.
Love that. Well, I love your approach to resilience, and I love hearing the impact you're clearly making with that holistic approach and your journey. I mean, it's really inspiring. And you're such a great example for collaboration as well, working with all sorts of other people, organizations. I think, and I say this all the time, it's really the only way to build a future-proof industry. I say that collaboration is the future of business. And also, I can't wait to see what other strides you help to make in supply chain and in your career and for other people. So, For the audience, did you have a guess at today's big question? Well, at the top of the show, I asked you, according to the Economist Intelligence Unit, real global GDP growth is expected to fall in 2025, but to what? Well, it's projected to fall to only 1.9%. That is the lowest since 2020. So, resilience right now really is crucial in these uncertain times. Remember to go subscribe, rate, and review the show. Check out more content from the best and the brightest over at letstalksupplychain.com. We've got some incredible guests, innovative strategies, transformative solutions that you cannot afford to miss. Zara, thank you so much for joining me
Thank you.
here on the show today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, until next time, everybody, I'm Sarah Barnes Humphrey, and this is Let's Talk Supply Chain.